And it looks like the game locked on me. Hey drivers, welcome back to another one. Assetto Corsa was the first sim to finally push me over the line from SimK to full-blown sim racing. This game was my first experience of true dynamic car physics in a racing game, and still to this day is one of the best VR experiences I've ever had. Today we will try out its much-awaited sequel, Assetto Corsa Evo. These are my honest first reactions and thoughts to this exciting new title. Will it become my new favorite sim? Let's find out. Alright drivers, we've been waiting a long time for this. Assetto Corsa Evo. Oh! Woo! That's what I'm talking about, man. That beat dropped hard. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at what we got here. Early access roadmap, live development. Wow, so they're showing like the entire development process right out the gate. That is awesome. You have to turn down the audio here a bit. There we go. So let's see here. They're planning on getting it's the first release. Early access is gonna have 5 circuits. Then they're gonna add 5 new cars. And then they don't have any details on the 3rd early access and 4th, 5th, and 6th. Interesting. But they do have their overall goal. So by fall 2025, they expect to have 100 vehicles, 15 circuits, free roaming. That's what I'm really looking forward to. All right, they're like, stop looking. They just moved on. Okay, so I guess we're starting with the Arbarth. Oh, that's funny. It just changed for me. All right, can we move around this? Oh yeah, there we go. Wow. Alrighty guys, this menu, if you're familiar with the original Assetto Corsa, light years beyond what that was. So I'm already feeling good. Nice and simple. You can see everything at the top. Let's take a look at our settings first. So we got our controls. Just want to make sure this is all working right. My controller is completely unmapped, so I'm gonna map this real quick and I'll come right back. Okay, now that's all done. Just so you know, I had to start practice, I didn't drive yet, to get the mapping to work. So it's probably just a bug that is in this game, it's probably known. But I couldn't get it to map the wheel from the main menu settings. I would go there and I click it, I steer my wheel, and it just didn't work. So I don't know. Either way, let's try out the driving experience. Let's take a look first at the menu here. So they got gallery, settings, vehicles, so you can look at different vehicles. So I got my whole garage here. And how do you navigate this? You know, I take back what I said earlier about it being a better navigation, because I'm not so sure about that anymore. So we got our Arbarth. Can I change brands? Okay, that's how I change brands. You actually have to click on the brand name. And let's take out a Lotus. Can we drive one? Let's see if it changes. Okay. Yeah, we'll start with that. And then I guess I just go back. There's no confirm. Alright, I kept the car. They got a dealership as well? Interesting, this must be for mods later. Maybe that's what that's for. Let's go in here, so you click single, and then I guess here you change your game mode. So quick race, race weekend, which is not selectable right now. We're just gonna do practice, and we're gonna get a feel for how this feels. Apply. I mean, I thought I made changes, but so it only activates once you actually make a change to one of the settings here, but not when you change from practice to quick race. Interesting. All right, so we just hit back. Well, nah, we're gonna race. I mean, that's a great track, but for my first experience, what do we got here? Oh yeah. Good old Suzuka. And driver assist. I like to think I'm a pro. We'll leave automatic ignition on, automatic gearbox off, 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 off. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's start. First impressions. I've driven many hours in Assetto Corsa, although I featured Automobilista 2 on this channel the most. This was my first sim. My first real sim besides Project Cars. I don't know if that counts. Alright, let's see here. Just hit drive. Okay. Make sure everything works. All the gears are rolling, that's good. Can I change camera views? I guess I didn't map that yet. This is way too wide of a field of view. Let's see if we can adjust that. Ooh, the frame rate is terrible. It says it's at 60 FPS or close to it, but those birds. Let's go ahead and adjust a couple things. So like I said, I had to go into this menu, click on the Logitech while it's in race mode to get these to map. So perhaps now I can actually map this. So I'll do that real quick and then we'll come back. All right, we're good to go. All right. So far so good. Feels good to drive straight. Wheel is a bit light. And I'm just using stock settings. I did not change. Whoa. And I forgot about this track. Oh, is this a different layout? Wait. Something doesn't seem quite right here. Alright, alright. Okay, let's rumble strips don't sound that amazing. Dare I say it, Forza Motorsport 8 sounds a little better in that department. The audio is pretty good in that game, actually. Alright. No, it doesn't feel too far off from the original Assetto. Yeah, I can feel the tires scrubbing there. You can tell when they're losing traction. No, I'm not trying to drive well right now. I'm just trying to get a feel for how it feels. Like driving all over the place. Yeah, those birds, they're flying at like 20 FPS. Here we go. So this must be a shortened layout of this track. I thought it would be the full track, but I was mistaken. I don't think I've ever driven this circuit in this configuration. It's very interesting. Yeah, but you know what? I can just hop in and drive. I mean, there's nothing much to it. I mean, besides all the setup that you gotta do. This isn't too bad. Let me try and set a better lap on this next time around. I do like the visual on the tires. You can see exactly where it's heating up well. I think it's better than the original Assetto. Oh, that thunk sounded pretty good. Honestly, I'll be a little bit more curious how this game performs in VR, because that's my big thing. You can't get much better or more immersive experience than driving in VR. Oh, that was terrible. Like, I've never driven this track before. I know that corner. That came in way too hot, especially for this car. The brakes aren't absolutely incredible. They're okay. There we go. Well, you know, I'm gonna stop there. I think I got a good assessment of this. I thought I'd be a little more like, oh my goodness, this is incredible, but you know, it feels familiar. I don't know how to quite pin it, but something is lacking. But it's definitely drivable. You could feel it going over the limit. Like, you can drive over the limit and not just spin out like an iRacing. Believe it or not, I do have a subscription to iRacing, and it just drives me bonkers when I'm going around a corner and I start to go over the limit and then it just drops off. But at least they kept that, so the drifters should be happy with this game. But also us racers when we're just racing around the track. I do drift, by the way, too, but not as much as I enjoy racing. Yeah, I'm trying to throw it around. All right. Yeah, let's see the grass too. I know it's weird to purposely go on the grass. Oh yeah, the car's getting upset, right? Seems about right. I would expect a little more grip, but not. That seems about right. Man, the frame rate is just absolutely abysmal, though. I hope that gets corrected. It's showing it's locked at 60, but it keeps stuttering all over the place. We come in here, actually not here. Let's go take a look at my settings. We'll go to video. So what did it lock me in at here? These are default settings for my config. Now keep in mind I have a i7 9700K, a RTX 3080, about 64 gigs of RAM, and this should be pretty performant, but everything is set to like medium or lower or off altogether, and I'm getting frame stuttering, so it looks like they still got some optimization to do. I know that not everyone has a incredibly, powerful PC, and mine's once was a few years ago, but now it's starting to show us signs of age. But this is, I don't know if it's quite acceptable. But like they said, they're in early access, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with here. And it looks like the game locked on me. This will be the second time that it's frozen. To be expected. Alright, let's fix this here. Alright. And we're back. So, yeah, it's a little rough, but like they said, it's still in early access. They still got a lot to do. I'm sure there's going to be a huge patch that's going to come out that's going to resolve a lot of these issues. The most frustrating thing that I experienced was just mapping the buttons and going into the settings menu from the main menu and not being able to map. Maybe it works now. Let's go in here and see. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna go in here, and I'm just going to click on car here. We're gonna go to clutch and press that and see nothing happens. I'm pressing the clutch right now and nothing happens. So yeah, I have to go into race and then it will actually map the buttons. Kind of interesting. I did not expect that. Maybe if you guys let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a graphics settings thing, I'm gonna try to dial it in. When VR is, maybe it's available now, I haven't checked that. I'll also do maybe a tutorial on that. I do have some old videos that are still relevant. If you're still using Windows Mixed Reality, I have a video for that too that's going to show you how to optimize the best performance out of Automolista 2, as well as any other VR solution. So check that out. Then also check out my video, 4 levels of racing game fever, and you can see my decline into this hobby. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Ultimately, here's what I'm gonna give it for my first experience, and I'm being kind to it because knowing that it's an early access, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 3 out of 5 gears. And hopefully after they continue to improve it, I'll give it more. The biggest things that I want to see change is some areas in the menu system aren't really clear whether you need to, when the apply button is going to become active. I also would like to see some changes in just the fixes, make sure that the mapping works right out of the box. And I think if you have a wheel plugged in, it should default to the wheel menu, not to keyboard. No one that has a wheel is going to want it to default to the keyboard menu. So some little things like that I like to see improved. Yeah, but overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as always, drive safe.